On jumps much like this one here, most say it's important to have enough speed and confidence to clear over this flat portion of the jump. You then want to spot your landing and land on this decline right here. This body of water behind me is actually Larry's front yard, and what resembles a boat launch ramp right here is actually his driveway. And he says it's about 2.5 feet deep and has dropped 1.5 feet. Officials at CATC tell me that there are 4 different routes on the bus system, and there are at least about 60 stops, all strategically placed to serve as many people as possible. Just to give you an idea of how much the water has risen, one bridge in Sheridan has about 1 inch between it and the water. And although the flooding has gone down a little, Mr. Coleman says they are still preparing for the worst. There's yet another company in Casper feeling the pain of finding good quality employees. And folks in this trade are very open to the apprenticeship program. There's just one problem. There's no students. Here at Tommy Jack's, you will not find any ashtrays on the bar. Why? Because they've been smoke-free since they opened back in June. Skaters, bikers, and rollerbladers are all saying the skate park is in dire need for some repairs and skeptical that it'll ever get them. But what they're most worried about is if they'll lose their park. It's loaded with ramps, half pipes, and grind bars for kids to do their tricks. Tricks like this huge ollie over a trash can. It's this park that keeps the kids skating in a contained area, and most have grown attached to it.
I just think it's like the best thing to do in Casper.
But some skaters say the park has seen better days.
It's in real bad condition. The wood's starting to rot and stuff because it's been in the rain and snow and stuff all year. All the years it's been built, so like screws and stuff will get rusty and like they'll break.
Ramps much like this one here can get quite steep. Any nick or imperfection in them can cause some potential injury.
I've gotten on the half pipe and bought some screws myself and screwed them in just so I could skate it. And just like the fun box and stuff, the rails were coming apart, so like we had to nail those down and stuff.
Officials from the YMCA say they can't take care of the park anymore and turned it over to the city due to insurance complications.
We have been notified by YUSA that they will pull our liability insurance from us because the park is technically a liability for the YMCA.
Only that, but Mrs. LeClaire says the park is more than they can afford.
We cannot, with our budget, keep up with the maintenance costs on the skateboard park.
So, after meeting with many kids that use the park, the skaters decided it would be best if the city takes over. And now the skaters are just waiting to see what the fate of the park will be. Many consider them the bravest. Almost every day they're out extinguishing some form of danger. Their job is physically demanding, and they have to be in good shape in order to see that they can run, climb, crawl, and jump their way through a blazing inferno.
Physical fitness is pertinent. It's part of your job. Most people look at it as an activity to stay in shape, keep their weight off, but it's part of our job.
You could be fast asleep in your bed 1 minute, and the next minute your heart can just be pounding, doing just an unimaginable workload.
But after statistics indicated that nearly half of firefighter deaths in the nation are attributed to heart attacks, it brings up a good question. What are they doing to keep in shape?
We're allowed 2 hours in the morning that we have scheduled time for a workout. Everyone's got a little different routines depending on age, body size, what they feel their areas are that need to be worked on.
And just to make sure that they are at the required physical level, the firefighters have an annual physical test which targets the areas and strengths that are needed. And they actually let me suit up and try some of these tests. First, they have to run up a 5-story building carrying a 50-pound hose. After reaching the top, you then have to hoist another hose up to the top of the tower using just a rope. You then have to run back down the stairs and attach the hose. After the attachment is secure and you are significantly winded, it's time for the dummy drag. This is the last portion of the physical test. The firefighters now have to drag this 175-pound dummy 100 feet to complete the test. They even have health and nutrition covered.
We recently had a class here where we brought an outside instructor in to teach us some of the important points of proper nutrition.
But the most important type of exercise, Captain Majunkin says, is anything that has to do with the heart.
The loss of Chris Ledoux is being felt here and will forever change the lives of some of his neighbors in his hometown of Casey, Wyoming.
Chris is one of the nicest men I've ever known. He's always really polite. He kind of beats the stereotype of the music-going, concert kind of guy.
He was just a all-around fella. He wasn't a blowhardy or anything like that. He was just an all-around guy.
After attending high school in Cheyenne, Chris moved on to the rodeo, a move that would map out the rest of his life. In 1964, he won his first world champion title as the Little Britches Rodeo Bareback World Champion. He then went on to win the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association title of World Champion Bareback Rider in 1976. And it was traveling with the rodeo circuit that inspired him to write many of his songs that fans would grow to love.
I could always relate it to Casey. I love that. So many of his songs are just like my friends and I. And the stuff that we do and what he used to do is what we all do now, and it's a great feeling.
While not making country hits or winning rodeo championships, Chris was at home working on his ranch with his loved ones. That members of the town say was the most important thing in his life.
Everything he does is for his family. And I think that's one of the best attributes of a man.
This is the entrance of Chris's ranch where he grew up and spent most of his time. And just over my shoulder here is his Wonder Barn, which members of the community said he built himself with the help of others. It was there that he passed on his rodeo skills to some of his children. And when he wasn't bucking broncos with them, he was cheering them on at their various sports events or taking his wife Peggy to one of the many town dances.
He contributed a lot to helping the kids and being there.
He was an important part of the town and will be greatly missed.